folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show for you. If Windows will let us have it, with my co-host Lucky Stone. Welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking exciting. It's an exciting topic, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I know I was hoping you would, because that's the thing is, you talk computers to anybody over the age of 25 or 30, and a lot of times, well, I shouldn't even say that, over the age of 40, and they have no clue. And if you look at it that way, those people who were getting into computers were, in the early 90s or whatever, and they really started having that cell phone in their hand and the computer and stuff. When did you get your first computer?
Oh boy, 90. Well, I had a like an Apple clone in college in the 89, 89, but a real good computer probably 95,
Yeah.
maybe 96. Something like
Mhm.
that. Yeah, probably
Huh?
96. I had a really good
Yep.
computer in 96, but that's also I was single. I had a good job. I had money, and I mean, I wanted a computer. I wanted something so I could take notes and stuff like that and write stuff up.
Yeah, yeah. The old dial up and getting on the web and all that stuff.
It blew my mind because it had the screen. It had videos because it was advertising when you started the computer up. It told you all about it and taught you everything, and it was this quality video. And I was like, it was blowing my mind. Of course, once the computer actually ran, it was back to the regular video. What wasn't that you know it wasn't that great screen. The screen was phenomenal to play stuff, but again, there was nothing to play it on. The monitor I had was more advanced than the computer actually, so it was funny. It was a weird experience. But God, I when I first started it up, it was training me how to use it. It actually had videos with Dennis Leary. Dennis Leary, that the comedian,
Yep.
football announcer at the time. Boy, yeah, I remember that
That,
computer. I love that computer. I had that for years. I would change out stuff. That was a computer. It was a tower. I would change stuff out. I would fix it. I would put a new modem in it, and love that computer.
nice. Nice. That's um yeah, that's a good, and I don't think I got into computers quite that early. Um my computers were, I think my friend Brenda and her husband, they got a computer, and they were kind of the first. I mean, when I was in high school, they came out with Apple II, and we played around with it a little bit, but
Yeah,
that was it. It was like the last year high school, I was a senior in high school, and that ended my computer career right there.
yeah. I had an Apple IIe clone, and the
Mm.
funny thing is, my roommate had an actual Apple IIe, and we're playing video games, and mine's in black and white because I had a clone. It was just a black and white screen, and I turned my roommate, and he's playing a game in its color, and I'm like, "You have a
Mhm.
color monitor?" He goes, "No, I don't. I have a black and white monitor just like you." And I'm like, "No, you have a color monitor because the screen, it's in color." He goes, "No, it's because the game is in color." And I realized my roommate is an idiot, and I'm not going to continue this conversation anymore.
Yeah, because all the screens used to be green, you know.
Exactly. That everyone on our floor who had a computer, it was green. My silly roommate had a color monitor, which must have cost his family a lot of money. He didn't have a concept in his head.
Hmm. Yeah, well, and that's the thing. So back in the day, we worked ourselves through those crazy monitors. Like I said, my friends had, and we would go over to their house, and we would all sit around the computer,
Hmm.
and she would type stuff, and she'd go in chat rooms, and we would just be amazed, and she
Hmm.
would chat with people all over the world, and we were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. We were just mesmerized by it. Like I said, it was like a little gathering just to watch her get in the chat room and chat with other people. But anyway, and then of course we progressed. I think I got my first computer in probably 2010 or 2010. I think, yeah, 2010, I think it was. It was only a couple. Yeah, it wasn't that. I didn't have a computer that much, or nothing. I mean, I barely had a cell phone. I think work gave me my first good cell phone. And other than that, I didn't even use a cell phone. It was a landline. So
yeah, the problem is in the beginning, in the late '90s, I had AOL. AOL was just hold everything back. I mean, really, my computer was too advanced for what I had available for it. So once things went further, we got another thing that wasn't AOL, and that was a lot different. But again, I was into things that I shouldn't have been into, because I had friends who were, we're gonna say, computer programmer loose. I had friends who were hackers. So they got me into places I probably shouldn't have been. But yeah, the back then the internet was Wild West. You could do a lot of stuff. Once you got an AOL, the freedom, the places you could go, things you could see were amazing.
yeah, I mean, they even made movies about that stuff. You Got Mail. Remember, and it got to be famous. I think that really kicked the head start to all of this, and here we are today.
Oh yeah.
But as things advance, so all right, folks, welcome in tonight. Now that we got our little small talk out of the way, tonight we're talking about Windows 11. This is going to be really interesting. So hold on to your seats and pull up your socks. Get yourself a good cup of coffee and listen up, because let's be honest, a lot of you have PCs. I know all of you listening either have a cell phone or PC at your house, either a laptop or a big tower, like you were saying. I don't think people have towers as much anymore as a laptop, though. But now you browse the web, you watch YouTube, you do emails, and maybe even run your business with Windows 11 when Windows 11 is showing up now. Hey, but it says, you got Windows 10 and it says, sorry, buddy, you're not on the list. And people go, what do you mean? I'm not on the list. The computer is running great. And here's the truth. Windows 11 is not just a new look. It's a new rule book. That's what makes it different. Microsoft decided Windows 11 would be a higher security baseline. Where did we hear that before? And meaning it wants certain security features built into the hardware. So the big question tonight is Windows 11 actually better, or is it just forcing upgrades? The answer is both, because Windows 11 does have real improvements and also some real annoyances. And let's start with the big reason. Older computers get blocked. It usually comes down to four things. Number one is the TPM 2.0. I don't even know what that is, but it's basically a security chip featured in firmware that helps protect encryption keys, listen up, people, and credentials. A lot of people don't even know they have it, and sometimes it's turned off in the BIOS. Number two is a secure boot and the UEFI. And heck, I have no idea what that is either. And this, it's Windows Starts feature. It helps stops certain kinds of malware. And we don't like malware. And that's to hijack the system before operating even wakes up. You heard of malware before. Number three is the CPU support. Now, CPU, I've heard of that before. And Microsoft has a list supported processors. So even if your CPU is still fast enough for normal use, Windows 11 might say no, because it's not on the approved list. Ooh, you got to be on the list, people. Number four, newer builds and instruction requirements. Basically, newer Windows versions sometimes expect the processor to support specific features. And if your CPU doesn't have those, it's not a slow problem. And we all know what a slow computer is like, that circle of death. Oh boy, it's missing parts problem. So when people say my computer can't run Windows 11, what they really mean is my computer can't meet Microsoft's new security rules, at least not officially. And isn't that crazy? Now, let's be fair. why are they doing this? And because the internet is a rough neighborhood now, and there aren't just viruses you click on, and some attacks you might mess with your system when your startup, and some people steal your credentials or hijack your security information. Hey, I've had that happen. And Microsoft wants Windows to start some place where security is stronger by default. That means they're going to have security somewhere in there, and you ain't going to know it. And that's the good side. But here's the bad side. And I'm not going to sugarcoat anything because I don't even know what I'm talking about pretty much. But millions of perfectly used computers got shoved to the obsolete pile. And that's what mine's going to do. And that feels personal when you're on the starting a message that basically says your PC isn't good enough. And then you need to get Windows 11 and, hey, trash that piece of junk, which isn't a piece of junk because I've been using it for years. And meanwhile, you're thinking, this thing runs fine. I'm looking at you, Microsoft. So tonight we're going to do something simple, but we're going to separate the hype from the facts. And we're going to cover what Windows 11 actually improves, like multitasking, security, and also what people hate, like UI changes. Well, we're going to figure that out too. And constant feeling that your computer belongs to Microsoft update schedule. And we'll talk about real options because that's what you actually need. If your PC can't upgrade, you've got these choices, which is where I'm sitting right now. Sometimes it's the simple thing as turning on the TPM or the secure boot in BIOS. And I had to write these things down, people, because I really don't know what they are. And sometimes you stay on Windows 10 a little longer with extended security options. And sometimes the honest move is getting a new machine, which I am faced with and might be a $1,500 machine. So, where am I going to get that kind of money? And no fear, no hype. This is just the truth and the trail that we're going to follow tonight. And I want you to participate. So put in all your comments in the chat or underneath the thing for later, because I want to hear your opinions on this. Because you know what? I'm getting to hate Microsoft right now because I want to put in Linux. And if I get a new computer, I might not be able to do that. So there you go. That's the scoop I got right now. What do you think of that, Lucky?
Yeah, that is the problem where I follow a lot of computer people online, and they were saying the same thing, that perfectly good computers cannot update to Windows 11. And it doesn't make any sense. And of course, they're explaining, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to help people get Linux. And there are multiple versions of Linux. Some are easier to load than others. And that's what they're doing. And honestly, for a lot of people, they don't need all the bells and whistles of Linux. They need a trimmed down, easy customer base Linux, and it's available. The only problem is you have to know what you're doing to load it. You have to load it, get it going. It takes some time, and it'll finally. And once you get it on, you're all set. But the transition from going to Windows to Linux can be tricky because Windows doesn't want you doing that. Microsoft does not want you doing that. I mean, some of the stuff that I didn't even know about them locking up the hard drive when you transfer from Windows to Linux. It doesn't happen all the time. But
well, and see, that's the thing I heard in my research, is that if you get one of these new computers and it's got Windows 11 installed on it, your computer will crash. It won't accept Linux. And right. I thought, well, what do you mean? I can't. So basically, it's like they're doing with the cars and the tractors and stuff. Hey, we're going to install our software, and whatever. Yeah, Lux Gamer. I put the link in the show, if you want to come on, you just tap that and use that, put it in the thing, and come on, and I'll get you on here. But anyway, Lux Gamer, Linux Gamer. That's it. Linux.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, I don't know much about all this stuff. You know way probably more than I do. I've been at this computer thing not that long, and I've been looking at, well, they stopped the updates, and now I don't know what to do. Do I just keep running this? Do I pay now for updates? I guess you can pay for updates for Windows 10 for a while.
Yeah.
But again, you're dishing out money for something I already own.
Right. That's the problem, is that it's not so much updates, you're paying for security, because the hackers are looking for computers that they can hack and get your data, get your information. That's your big problem. That's the big problem, because I mean, I have several passwords that I use, and they're all a little different. They're all obscure little things that I come up with. But if you use the same password from multiple things and they get wind of that, they'll just go through your whole thing. I mean, even my YouTube channel, I'm a tiny channel. I'm a garbage little channel. No big deal. Yeah. I have 3-factor identification. So just in case someone tries to take my channel, I'll know. They got to go through my phone. They got to go through my email, and of course they got to go through YouTube. But again, YouTube is messed up, and people have found ways around that. But supposedly it's not going to happen anymore. I guess the best way to know you screwed up is when you screw up, and then you can fix it after you screw up. That's what YouTube has learned their lesson. So the 3-factor identification is now all set. But
well, and that's the thing here. So here's Nina. Me and her have talked, and she's on her Beyond Truth new channel there. Everybody go on over there and check it out. She says, get a new PC. Well, that's the whole point, isn't it, Lucky? Getting the new PC. I get the new PC, and what do I get? I get all this security. That's great. But I also get other things that I don't want. The new hardware, the new Microsoft thing, takes a screenshot every 5 seconds of whatever you're working on, and then reports that back to Microsoft. What do you think they do with that information?
Well, they sell it. They use it for their own. I mean, they don't care about us. They care about corporations, and the corporations will pay them money and for your data, for your information. The other problem is that the Windows 11 PCs have a chip in them that allows them to trace. So everything that they have attached to that little screenshot identifies you, not as a person, but as the chip on your laptop or your computer, and they know everything you do. Of course, right now I have 2 computers open right now because I'm wacky like that. But everything I do, they're taking pictures of me right now, and everything I do double.
Yeah. So I don't, do I want that? Do I want them taking pictures of me, selling my information? And then the fact is, even if I say, okay, I hate Windows, I want to get something else, I can't. I'm stuck with it. I'm stuck with anything they want to do. And now I've heard that if you got Windows 11 and you do something they're not happy with, they can just shut your computer off. And then it's dead in the water, locked up, done forever.
I mean, I don't know if you use, is it called OneDrive? Why do I forget? OneDrive, Windows OneDrive. I don't have it engaged, but you can save all your files to the cloud. And not fill up your computer with wasted space. Not kill your memory on your computer. I don't have it on because I have heard stories of them engaging it and Windows automatically saving all your files to the cloud without telling you. And you go, well, I don't want that, And if you delete the files off the cloud, they delete the files off your computer too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, no. How's that legal? Well, that's the problem. So I don't have OneDrive.
Yeah, neither do I. I save it all and I put it on hard drives. But if you do
Yep.
save it, and then of course you got to pay. It's always about the paying. Ooh, you need more storage. You need
Yep.
more info. You got to save all this stuff. Well, if you quit paying, all that stuff you put in that OneDrive is gone forever until you pay up. It's like they're holding it for ransom.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, that's true.
Do I want a system like that? You know, I mean, they're supposed to be doing that with cars, and they do that with other things now too. Like, well, you know, they're talking about the cars, you know, having, well, you want to use the radio, which is not a necessity. You're gonna have to pay extra. Oh, you want those heated seats? You got to have that subscription. You know, well, the same with the computer. Yeah, you want to have those features. You want to have that OneDrive. You want to have anything. You got to pay the subscription, and that could cost. Well, I got a really nice computer. I pay $500 a month for it. You know? Okay, here's Lennox Gamer. Welcome.
What's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Dave.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I've been running Linux since the 90s. Windows is basically spyware, Copilot. They take pictures every second and feed it back, and they sell all the data and stuff like that. And a lot of people don't want to switch because they're scared of running Linux. Well, Linux, if you go on distrowatch.com, there's so many Linux distros out there. It's easy for the new in-years to use. Like my like the distro that I'm running, my buddies built it. It's based off of Arch. It's a fork of Arch, but it has the Linux Mint Cinnamon Outlook, so it'll be easier for somebody that comes from a new Windows user to navigate really easy.
Yeah. So how? Okay, so I'm faced with this problem. That's why I put up this whole show. Was I have a Alienware a computer, you know, which is a really nice computer. It's probably about 10, 15 years old. I don't know, 10, 12 years old, I'd say. And I've had it for a good 5 years, and it runs really good. And you know, Alienware is usually a pretty good gaming computer. I use it so I can do these videos and put up, you know, make videos and things like that. But how hard is it to switch this over to Linux? It's scary. It's the scary.
It's real easy. Like a lot of people, okay, back in the 90s, you had to know what you're doing because you know you have to be in the terminal a lot and stuff like that. But now they got a whole bunch of Linux distros where, so like when a new users come to Linux, they have the icons, you know, it has the menu and everything like that. You know, they have you know, they have easy ones out there like Ubuntu, Zorin OS, Linux Mint, you know, and there's some other ones too. But a lot of people are scared because they think you have to be all smart and, you know, all smart, which you don't. You know what I mean?
When you do, Lucky, you got Linux?
On one of my computers, I do. Yes.
Oh, you do. Okay. So here's a question from both of you guys. Does it operate similar to Windows, so you wouldn't have to relearn everything? I mean, I'm coming from a I don't know what I'm doing kind of standpoint.
Yeah. Well, there's some stuff. Okay, like the reason why a lot of people don't go to Windows because they use like Adobe, Photoshop, and that stuff don't run on Linux. But see, Linux has different applications for that. Same thing, like you have Kdenlive, that'd be like your video editing and stuff like that. You got GIMP, and you know, for your photo editing or your thumbnails or whatever you want to do. There's other software out there that covers for Windows stuff, you know, but a lot of people are scared because a lot of people use Adobe, you know, Adobe Premiere and all that. A lot of people are scared. Yeah. They don't want to switch.
I got all that stuff because that I thought that was the only thing available.
No, there's so much available. It's not even funny. Linux is open source software, right? There's so much out there, but everybody is so used to Windows. That's all they know. Like, you know, at work, I got a couple, you know, like at work, I got a couple of my buddies running Linux and stuff like that. And they enjoy this. Like, gee, I didn't know they had all kinds of stuff like that. I said, yeah, they got different resources for different things. You know, it's the same stuff that Windows could do, Linux could do. It's just, it's open source, but everybody's scared because, you know, everybody's so used to using Adobe products. Everybody's scared to switch, you know, somewhere else, you know, like they got, you know, so yeah.
Well, and most workplaces run Windows. I know mine does. They upgraded to a new computer, and I had Windows 11. Lucky, you do computers all day. Windows 11?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. But we're also running like 4 or 5 different other programs that are integrated into Windows. So there's no choice. Well,
Yeah.
we have lots of choices.
Yep.
There's
Mhm.
Linux. There's all kinds of options. But you have to be open to learning. I mean, and it's not that hard. Also,
No.
Mhm.
I think there are better options than Adobe. That's for sure. There are better options in Photoshop. Absolutely.
Yes. Oh yeah. Of course, because it's all open source. If you have and if you have problems, they'll you reach out to the Linux community and they'll help you out. They won't have no problems at all. I run a base Arch. Arch is a little more complicated than like Ubuntu, Zorin OS, Linux Mint, and stuff like that. Those are like people that want to get to learn Linux. That's the best. Basically that's like Linux on training wheels. When you ride your bike, you got training wheels. So basically, that's a step. That's like the baby step you take to get, on Linux, like Ubuntu or something like that. Something easier, something familiar, something with icons. You got your menu. You got your start menu. You have everything. Everything you need
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because like I said, I had no clue. I mean,
Yeah,
I knew there's Linux out there, and I've heard people use it. I'm lucky. I know you talked about it. You're about the only computer guy I know that's a little bit smarter than me. But
well, I have ADHD, so I'm always looking for something else. That's my problem. That's why I put it on Linux on one of my computers, because this computer's a piece of garbage. I can't update it to Windows 11. Fine, I'll put Linux on it, and
there you go.
It was easy.
There.
It was easy. But again, the only problem with transiting to Linux is you have to be patient, because it takes time, and you got to load the things in the right order. Besides that, it's easy, but you have to be patient, because the scariest part is loading it and waiting for the computer to come on. But again, you don't have much of a choice. If you got choices to continue on this, no security, buy a new computer, get all the security and step in line with Windows Mastermind, or take the time and just upload Linux and be happy.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about nothing. You don't have to worry about viruses. There are some viruses, but it's not like Windows. You know what I mean? It's not, and Linux is a lot more secured than Windows. Way secured. A lot of servers. Everything runs on Linux. Your cable provider, your whatever you work at, whatever business you work at, they run on Linux. All servers run on Linux. You know what I mean? A lot. They all run on Linux.
Huh. So okay. Now, like I said, this show is about learning Linux in a way, and learning about this Windows 11, like we just discussed just before you came on. I don't know if you listened to that, probably while you're hooking up, but we were talking about the security features and how they're spying on you, and taking your information and selling it. And eventually we're going to be trapped in that big World Wide Web, because they said, here a little while ago, Bill Gates said, hey, you're not even going to own a computer pretty soon.
Nope.
What's
but
that
see too, but see too. Okay. This is my philosophy. See, okay, if you're running Windows, right? If you're running Windows, you don't own your computer. Microsoft owns it, so they can shut your stuff down anytime you want. If you run Linux, you own it because you tell your computer what to do. Your computer don't tell you what to do. You tell it what to do. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You used to, that, because Linux is about freedom. About do whatever you want your computer. You tell your computer what to do with Linux. Oh, it's doing it. But with Microsoft, basically Microsoft jamming all these ads up in everybody's throats. And people don't want ads. People don't want all kinds of spyware, Copilot, and all this other crap. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't know how to get at it. Like I said, a lot of people don't know how to get at it. Like the elderly. You know what I mean? Like they have to go buy a new computer because they probably don't know they have to go buy a new computer. Oh, because my TMP and so my computer's not capable of running Windows 11, so I go buy a new computer. No, you don't. Install Linux on it and brand new computers like that. Bada boom, bada bing.
Now they're saying the new computers with installed with Windows 11, they won't let you put Linux on there because they'll just shut you down. So they're securing their spot in history, because if you buy a computer and it's got Windows 11, you're done.
I'm trying to find out what's going on with my sound. Hold on, guys.
Okay.
Well, that's much more complicated than you think, because yes, you can sideload, partition for Linux, but you have to prepare before you do it. That's the problem. You have to prepare before you do it to know what you're doing. So if you're a regular person, no, you cannot load Linux on a Windows 11 computer because they'll
No.
lock your hard drive. But there are ways to partition your hard drive and prevent it from happening. But that takes someone who knows what they're doing to do that. I got
Yeah.
someone who did that, no problem at all.
That's what I'm afraid of. But the average person,
Oh no, average, you'll get screwed. That's what Windows wants. That's what Microsoft wants.
yeah, that's kind of like John Deere, with the tractor thing. They are trying to, the average farmer can't work on his tractor anymore because John Deere said, hey, all our computers we have the only software that'll work and we're not sharing it.
Yep.
And there you go. You're a farmer, your tractor breaks down, you got to wait for a technician to come out to hit the reset button so you can start plowing the field again. Well, is that even fair? You just paid $100,000 for a tractor that doesn't run.
Right, don't even run right either.
Now, like the tractors, all the farmers are going out and buying the old tractors to plow the fields with now. And is that going to be true with the old computers? Will they be running out to try to buy an older computer and get it fixed up and put Linux on it?
Yeah.
Yes. There are companies that's their bread and butter now, is selling old computers that you can retrofit that are much easier. That's where I got the computer I use right now, because my other computer, my expensive computer, it's a potato sometimes. Now like I said, I paid $200 for this computer. It is wonderful. It is a wonderful computer. It's fast, although it's not supposed to be. It is much better than my expensive computer. And why is it? Because for some reason the Windows restriction weren't as good, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea why the cheap computer works so much better than the expensive computer, but I use it and I love it. And then the other one, the trash computer with Linux, that's just gold mine. Whatever that does is just for fun,
Yeah. Because people think, well, if you got to have that big expensive computer that like gamers, obviously you must be a gamer, eh?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
And you need a pretty good high power computer to do that gaming. That I do know, right? Graphics cards and all that stuff, and more RAM and CPUs and whatever that make them go. I'm just doing making videos. I just, believe it or not, I got onto OpenClaw Control, and now I have an OpenClaw chat bot, believe it or not. That was my project this weekend. I used ChatGPT to get me another chat bot. And I have no idea what this chat bot in OpenClaw can do, but he can get on Discord and talk to me there and do stuff. I still don't know what he does. Have you ever been on the OpenClaw? That's the big thing with we did a show, me and Nina, last week about the what was it, mono whatever thing, boot or whatever. I can't remember the name of the show now. But anyway, it was all about the chatbots having their own little social network. And the question is,
my buddy runs it. My buddy uses Claude.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Nice. Is there anything has he talked about it at all? Because I just got mine going today.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't really know I really don't know too much about it. I just know he uses it a lot.
Oh, nice.
Because he does a lot of Vive coding and stuff like that. He uses it for a lot of coding.
Yeah, because I used the chat GPT to do the coding to get me the Clawbot.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me loud and clear?
Yeah. You're fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, cool. No, but C was good about Linux too. You can run on any computer. You don't have to be a top notch computer. You can run on any computer on a potato, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for the audience, Moltbook. That's it, Moltbook. God, I knew it started with an M, and I'm like, it's something like that. But we did a whole show on it, and I didn't know what Clawbot was, and I had to get it to experiment with it because I'm like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
You know, what is it doing? What is Moltbook? You know, and so I'm going to try to figure it out. We'll probably do another show on it because it's kind of the thing. Everybody seems to have a computer nowadays. So speaking of that, can you tell me, and I'm sure you're more familiar with the Linux stuff in today's age, what is a good Linux program, Mint or that other one, Ubuntu or whatever it is? Which one is the better one to get for an average guy like myself? And how hard is it to put on my computer? And what steps do I got to take to get it on my computer? Will I lose my information that I have on my computer?
Okay, so with majority of all distros, it'll like if you want to dual boot it, you can. So you won't lose. It'll pop up an option. So when you download the ISO, you got to get a thumb drive, get like Roofless. I can't pronounce it. I can't pronounce the word, but it's a USB. It burns the ISO into the image. And so when you boot it up, it's real easy. When you boot it up, it'll give you it'll give you options. Say, do you want to keep your Windows, and you keep everything on basically on the same partition basically. But
like Lucky was saying, partition it off.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying though, when you install it, it'll bring it up. Do you still want to keep your part? Basically, you can partition it. It'll do everything. It'll pop up and give you that option to do it. Then it'll partition it for you. Then it's pretty easy. It don't take long. But Linux Mint, I rather have everybody do that one because it's a lot. It's easier. Well, Ubuntu's easy too. They're all really easy. Easy ones, but like a lot of people, I told them go to Linux Mint for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, they're like I said, you have Zorn's pretty easy, Linux Mint and Ubuntu. And there's other ones out there too. I can't name offhand, but yeah, like I said, so when the new user installs it, they have the icon stuff like that. They have like a menu. They have see what's good about Linux too. A majority of all of them have stores too, like snap packages, and they have flat packs and stuff like that too. And they have their own little stores, so you don't have to go on websites and download stuff. You download it from the store, and you don't have to go to any websites, and you just download.
Okay, Steve is saying sounds complicated to me. Yeah, I get it. Where do I get Linux in the first place? Where do
go to linuxmint.com for that, or unless if you want to look at a whole bunch of different distros, you go to distrowatch.com when it has all kinds of different distros.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And then you can pick from there. And then is it expensive?
No, it's free. Everything's free. It's open source. Linux is free.
Free.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Nice. Okay. Because I'm just thinking of what all these people here are thinking the same thing. Okay, Steve Bowe says, why do I want Linux? Lucky or a gamer, which either one of you can answer. Why does Steve want to use Linux?
Go, Lucky. You want to shoot it?
Freedom. You don't need to follow Windows. I'm trying to be nice. Windows is going to make you do exactly what Windows wants you to do. You have no choice. You have no free choice. Yes, you can buy your programs, you can get everything, but you need to do what Windows tells you what to do. Linux gives you options, and it's so open source that there are always different paths. It's the only, it's like hiking. You can either follow the exact path that everyone else follows, or you can go to a place where there's multiple paths to follow. You get multiple options, open field. Rather than going through the path of trees, you can have an open field to go anywhere you want. Linux is anywhere you want. No restrictions. You can do what you want. While Windows, you've got to do what Windows wants you to do. If you don't do what Windows wants you to do, your computer's not going to work right. And they're going to say, oh, sorry about that. It's not working right. You're going to have to get back in. You got to reload everything.
Yeah, that's kind of thing. That's kind of the same thing I was telling you about. Like when when you're not in charge of your computer, when you run Microsoft's in charge of it. Like I said, you run Linux, you have all the freedom to do what you want with your computer or whatever, customize it however you want. Linux is so customizable, it's not even funny. You know, be a leader, not a follower, you know. And you know, Linux okay for like all the gamers out there. I don't know if there's gamers or out there or whatever, but you know, you can't play like the new Call of Duty or the new Battlefield 6, you know what I mean? Because the anti-cheat can't play Fortnite. But there's if you go on proton.com, you type in a game that you want and it'll tell you if it'll play on Linux or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'll tell you if you're a gamer, it'll tell you what games work on Linux and what games that don't. But yeah, it's just freedom of choice and basically do what you want with your computer, basically.
Nice. Yeah, because, and like you said, Beyond Truth here, Nina, she's saying, Bill and all his viruses. Yeah, because Microsoft has a lot of viruses. I've gotten some too, you know.
Yep. Seeing what's good with Linux, say you want an application, say you want like Kden Live is, you know, use photo, video editing and stuff like that, you know, you just go look in the store and type it in, type Kden Live, bam, there you go. You don't have to go to no sketchy websites and no nothing. You just download it. It's good. It's good to go.
The problem with Windows also is that you have to, you know, you have that monthly subscription or yearly subscription to their Word, their Excel, they're all, you know, BS, you know. Yes, you can buy
it's all about money.
Yeah,
and where Linux is free, no cost, no nothing.
And there's always an option that's just as good. But
you
don't like it? Oh, no, this isn't as good as our Windows Word. You know, if you want to send your resume, resume has to be in Word. No, everything can be. There's always a better option. That's just as good.
Oh yeah. There's always a better option. And say you don't like a distro. Hey, move on to the next one. Everything's free. You don't gotta pay for nothing. Let's move on. You know.
Yeah. Well, like Steve Bose says here, just a second here, he says, I've never even heard of Linux before today's show. So we're telling people about, like I said, this is what's important about this. I've heard of Linux. I've never actually used it. And, you know, I think a lot of people don't even know there's options out there.
Oh, there's okay. If nobody wants to install Linux, you could use it. It's a VMware. It's where you could try, you know, distros. You could go like the GNOME. I use GNOME boxes. It's open free source. You can run on Windows too, and you can make you like a little virtual machine and test Linux out, run it, see how you like it. You know what I mean? Maybe you know, see if it's for you. Maybe it's not for you. You know what I mean? So there's options out there.
Didn't even know that. I'm learning all kinds of stuff tonight.
Like I said, I quit running Windows since the 90s. Yeah, I've been running Linux. I don't like Microsoft. It's
Well, I think there's a lot of people that don't like Microsoft, but
they don't know how to pass and get through it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, we don't know anything else. It's like there may be another choice out there, but I've never heard of anybody using it. Like Steve says, he says, I never even heard about it before today. And what the heck? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. The Linux is fun. There's so much you could do and stuff like that. And you know, and then there's other harder Linux where you got to actually, you know, there's other harder Linux out there where you got to actually know stuff. But there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of easy ones out there that you can just dive in and jump in. You got your icons, you know, you got your startup menu and stuff like that. You know, but you can't. There's some Windows application. You know, there's some Windows application you can run and some you cannot run. It just depends. You know, and if you want to run them, you got to do a workaround. You know, like use Proton or Wine or something like that.
Okay, so so I'm going to put this in the chat. I just looked it up. I'm using my Clawbot, which I named Scout.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put this in chat here. And this is where you guys can find Linux, Mint, and Ubuntu. So go check it out. If nothing,
I highly recommend. You know, for people want to get away from Windows and a new end user, run those two. Those are the easiest ones I can think of right now for straight out of the box. You know, it's not hard. It's real easy. You really don't have to do nothing. You just hit next, and type in your credential, your password, your username, and stuff like that, same as you do with Microsoft, and boom, you're in. You don't need to take long at all, really whatsoever, because they're so the files are so dang small. You know what I mean? They're real small, so it don't take long at all.
They were saying, excuse me though, I want to just put a little cap on this because I'm kind of curious, because I've heard rumors of well, like you're saying, they're so small, the program is very small, and Windows takes up most of your space on your computer. And when you get rid of Windows and put Linux on there, your computer has so much more space to run. It runs faster.
Yes. It's like mine. Okay, I have a 2 terabytes. So this one for the boot drive, this terabyte is for the boot drive just to have, Then I have my terabyte for my games. Yeah. Linux is really, really small, so you'll have a lot of space. And two, about Windows, it's a hog resource for RAM. I don't know if a lot of people know, but yeah, it takes a lot of RAM and CPU up. A lot of people don't know that. It runs it in the background.
Yeah, it runs in the background, stealing your information, taking pictures of you, sending to Microsoft,
for you, yep,
recording your voice, put it in the data centers. Well, speaking of data centers, I'd like to get both of you guys' opinions on what data centers. Do we need these data centers? What are they storing there? They're spending tons of money building giant warehouses that are enormous, taking all our electricity and water to do it. What's your thoughts on it?
I'll be right back. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay, Lucky, you're up.
Yeah, go Lucky.
Data centers, I can't get my mind around why they need so many of them and so big. It doesn't make any sense, because we're getting more and more computer power in smaller and smaller packages. So why the need to have so many? I don't know. Unfortunately, it does go to the conspiracy theory to upload all our consciousnesses onto the cloud, because they're going to need more cloud space for all the consciousnesses. That's the only thing I got. So why they need so many, I don't have a concept, and why they need so much water, and it doesn't make any sense. I have no idea why they need so many data centers, because, I do the AI paintings, the AI artwork, to AI thumbnails, and they say, that uses like a gallon of water each time you do it. I don't think so, because a lot of them are trash. But still, I don't know why there's so much data center. I have no idea why they need so many data centers. It doesn't make any sense, unless it's the corporations. The corporations need more and more and more information to do whatever they know with it. Whatever they want to do with us.
Yeah. I built a control. So you're right. It's one of those things that we these data centers, they're taking this information. I don't think I'm on the belief that we're doing everything now, but are they going to make little sim people of all that's my thought, is they're going to take this data center and make sim cities of all the people and run experiments on this of what we'll do, in 10 years, and fast forward all the different options. And they'll, like you were talking about in your last show, Lucky, they'll mind read us.
Yeah, data centers, we really don't need those, because all they're doing is getting all our data information and basically selling third parties. And it's like the same thing with, same with the Discord, what Discord's trying to do now. You guys hear about that?
No.
What they're trying to do, I
got Discord.
Okay, yeah, I got Discord too. They're next month they're trying to do like face recognition or ID. I'm not giving nobody my ID on my face recognition, because they got hacked already, and a lot of millions of data got leaked out and stuff from that. No, dude. I'm not about that.
Yeah.
So-called,
I agree.
So-called, they say for age verification, so-called, but they're going to sell the data.
Yeah, that's how they get away with a lot of stuff, is they say, it's age verification. We want to protect the children. Yep. We're here to protect the children. No, they're not. They're exploiting the children more than anything else. But
Yep, it's always something. Protect, save. Use those big words that make people think differently. you know,
Yeah,
oh, it's bad.
but a lot of people fall for it though. Like if you're smart, you know better than that. You know better than that. You know a
Yeah.
lot better.
Oh yeah, well, sometimes you got to take chances too. You know, so anyway, I'm pasting something in the thing, but I don't know. I'm not sure about the data center, but they're building a lot. Spending, the government's in on it. I think the government's in on it. You know,
yeah,
they're the ones pushing it.
There's no doubt about it.
Well, the government's owned by corporations, so what the corporations want, the government wants. So they all go hand in hand. They're all friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what is the government going to do with all this information? That's another thing. And then will they outlaw things like Linux in the end? I don't know. I'm kind of worried. Will they make everybody use one system, kind of like you know, with the what are they doing, that ID thing, you know, and then eventually they're what is it, instead of a passport and all that, you got to have that, you know, real ID. That I'm trying to think of the name of that. But that way everybody's categorized exactly the same. You can't be out of the lines. You can't just have a regular ID. You got to have the real ID.
Well, now from what I heard about the real ID though, like if you want to fly, you don't have to have real ID. You just pay the $45. That was just a gimmick. That was just a scam gimmick to get, you know. Yeah, I never got a real ID, and you know, yeah. But now you don't need a real ID to fly. You just pay the $45. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, $45 instead of getting the real ID. So there you go.
Yeah.
They had us all so scared that you got to get the real ID or you can't fly. You can't go.
So everybody rushing got the ID. I don't got it. I'll pay the $45. I don't fly a lot. You know, even if I did, I wouldn't get their ID because basically it's to keep, you know, they keep track of you regardless, but it's just more of a thing for them. You know.
They don't care about Linux. They will never outlaw Linux because Linux integrated in everything.
Yeah. Yep.
All the Google phones, they're Linux.
There goes everything.
You can get Linux on your phone too.
Yeah. Well, what do you think your Android? Okay, if you have an Android, what do you think that's based off of Linux?
That's Linux.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Google controls it in you know, governs it down. You know, but it's just because Google's a corporation. In the beginning, it was open source. I had the first G phone, and I hacked that all the time. I love that phone. And the second one, a little bit more difficult to hack.
Yeah.
And after that, no, I still
like
did.
My buddy, he has a Pine phone, so he makes his own ROMs.
Oh, cool.
And strips everything. He makes his own ROM and strip everything out for his phone. Yeah.
Huh. Well, how about that? I'm learning stuff tonight.
That's
like
good, man. That's
crazy. Because I think everybody else is learning stuff here too. Because, like I said, some people never heard of Linux.
Yeah.
You know, so Linux is basically Android.
Yeah.
And,
Linux. Okay. Basically, Linux is Android based. It's Android based. Okay, like you know, like the Fire Sticks, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They're Android based. So, but the new Fire Sticks came out. Amazon built their own Linux OS. It's not based off Android no more. It's based off actually Linux. It's Vegas OS, which is a Linux-based operating system that Amazon built for the Fire Sticks.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and giving us all this information tonight.
Oh man, no problem.
Cow! I'm so glad you seen. I don't know how you found us, but or have you been listening or
no? I ran into you guys. I watch a lot of YouTube tech channels.
Oh, well, we're certainly no tech channel here, but we are definitely trying to learn this. I said, hey, you know, we got to do a show on this. I mean, this is so important. This Windows 11, like I said, it's affecting me. I have this old computer and I cannot put Windows 11 on here. And it says, nope, you don't have the right stuff. And I'm like,
and see what else you could do too. I forgot to mention this too. You can actually put you actually, you know, put Linux Mint or Ubuntu or whatever Linux you want, and you can run it out of the live CD, so it won't mess up your computer. You can test it like that too. Yeah, so it'd be into, you know, you just push your F10 or whatever to get in your UFE. Then, you know, you pick which one you want. Then, you know, whatever whatever USB stick you have, and you could go live. You could test it out. You know what I mean? Instead of installing it in your computer, but it's not gonna go all fast because it's on a USB stick.
Yeah. Truth Waves out there. He says, I have a machine like that as well, Robert. Yeah. See, and that's the thing. That's the whole point of the show, is to help people like you out too, because I don't want to get rid of my computer. I paid $600 for this thing.
No,
and it works good.
And see, what's sad though, all these computers and everything are actually really, they'll still good but because of Windows 11, the TMP and security and all stuff, they can't go nowhere. You know what I mean? So people are chucking them, throwing them to the e-waste, or the perfectly good computers. When whoever's watching the show, if you guys got computers and you can't use Windows 11, go to Linux, and you got a brand new fresh computer. Less, don't take a lot of hog resource or nothing like that. Real lightweight, and you'll have a lot of space. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this has been mind-blowing, but I am game for that. I am going to go out. I think I'm going to try Linux. I really am. I'm going to do that. Download it on a stick or something, and we'll see where it gets me.
Yeah, it's like,
try it out anyway.
Like I said, you can just run off the USB stick. It's going to go a little slower, unless if you want to get like GNOME boxes. It's a VMware. GNOME box is open source. You can even try it on that too. It's whatever you want to do, whatever you feel comfortable with.
And what is it? What's the GNOME box with a G?
GNOME boxes. It's like a VMware, basically. Yeah, it's a computer and a computer VMware, basically. Well, they have VirtualBox too, kind of the same thing. But I use GNOME box. You can use VirtualBox too if you want. It's up to you. Mm-hmm. But GNOME box is a little more easier to set up than the VMware box. VMboxer. Yeah.
Okay.
VMware.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So I'm taking notes as we go, because I'm going to need this. So
do you guys go on here a lot, or what? You guys do a lot of shows or what?
I didn't catch that. Sorry.
I said, do you do a lot of shows?
Yes, every week, 9:00, every Saturday, always. Okay. So yeah, if we got anything on and you want to talk about computers, hey, my email is in the description below, and just email me if you got something really cool to talk about with the computers or something. Let me know. We'll make a show of it, because I'm sure that everybody here is using probably a phone or a computer. Most of them kind of a phone or computer.
I'm on a computer, but I'm on a computer. I got like a soundboard. I got a studio monitors, and
wow, you're all set up. You must do a lot of gaming then, right?
I got 3 monitors. I do YouTube too sometimes, but not all the time though.
Yeah, I got 2 monitors, and that's about as I had 4 monitors, but I broke one on accident because I was trying to hang it up and I kind of squeezed it tonight and kind of broke it. But Lucky, what do you got? Just the one computer?
What you got going on, buddy?
I have 4 or 5. I have 6 computers, but 2 that I use all the time. I have like 2 tablets. I'm always looking. That's the one thing about Linux, is I would always need another computer just in case I broke it.
Well, like I have 2 boards in the closet. I gotta get those going.
Oh yeah.
But they're old. They're pretty old.
Because I don't do e-waste. I keep everything and then keep messing with it.
Go. Yep.
Nice.
I throw nothing away, because it just, unless I can dump the only computer I lost was what my gaming computer crapped the bed, and I had to send it back for them to repair, and they go, oh, it's unrepairable. Here's the money for it. I'm like, no, it was repairable. But no, the insurance company said it was unrepairable, and I lost it. So I should have just said no. Just honestly, it was the most ridiculous thing. I couldn't believe it.
Damn, it sucks.
It was like a 16-inch laptop. It was so good. It's a great computer. Love that computer. But again, it was insured because, again, these things, when they die, they die. But it happens. But so now, from now on, I said no insurance. I'll do it myself.
Yeah, it's better to do it yourself. And It's better to do things yourself. You know what? If you know how to do it yourself. Save you a lot of money. Like I my parents IT tech stuff like that from out of state. So I'll solve remote into a computer and fix what's going on and do whatever they need me to do and stuff. And yeah, so I'm like the whole family's IT tech.
Wow. Oh, speaking of IT tech, I know Nina Beyond Truth. She's over here. We were talking the other day about having a second screen, and she says, well, I got 2 computers and maybe I could hook them together. Is that even possible to use it for a second screen, or you just got to use the 2 computers?
To hook up another monitor? Well, you gotta have a graphics card, because graphics card has a display port, HDMI ports, and stuff like that. You gotta have a GPU.
Okay.
Yeah. But like a lot of streamers, they have 2 computers, one for just the gaming, and one for like OBS and everything like that. But they have a capture card inside them. So the streaming computer goes to the capture card, then it'll go on YouTube. Yeah. But no, you just gotta have a GPU.
Okay. GPU.
Yes.
Okay. Well, with that, we're gonna wrap this show up. Thank you for coming on, Lucky. Any last words?
We've gone all over the place. Last words. I'm not the best to deal with computers, because I just keep them and I keep fixing them. And honestly, to me, it is more difficult for me to explain for someone how to do it than to do it myself. And honestly, that's the one problem. Is like, I'd rather go to a friend's house and help them with the computer than try to explain to them how to do it. That's the big problem, is being, I can do so much more than try to explain, because I have no idea how to explain what to do. But for me, I can do it in 10 minutes.
Yeah. No, I got you. Like my brother-in-law, I was on Discord with them, and he didn't know how to put a computer together. So I helped them build it off of Discord. He had a video camera. Then this guy from Nigeria I ran into, he bought a brand new computer. I think he said he spent like $2,400 on it. This is he bought it when everything went up, the RAM, everything went up. So he didn't know how to do it, because he asked all kinds of people in chat, how do you do it? I said, hey, do you have Discord? He's like, yeah. So I added him on Discord, and he pointed the camera, and so I was telling him how to basically build. I built this whole computer for him on Discord, by to show me what he's doing, and it works, and it boots up, works and everything, first post and everything.
Nice. Yeah. I love it. Okay, well, everybody, I guess Max Vision is on. You can go over there and get your mind trained and do your own forecasting there with some Max Vision seeing stuff over there. But anyway, but thank you both for coming on tonight. Spur of the moment, Lux Gamer, thank you. You're welcome on the show anytime. It'll be great. We're going to wrap this up with everybody. Don't forget, tomorrow, Beyond Truth, over on Nina's channel, a new channel, Beyond Truth. We're going to be talking about data centers, Jupiter ascending. Are they stealing our information or consciousness, or what? What are they doing with the data centers? That's what we're going to be talking about over there. So catch us on over there. Link is in the description below. And remember, everybody, go out and do something nice for somebody else. Even if it's somebody at the grocery store, give them a smile, a wave, something, make somebody's day. And remember to be the frequency you want to receive, everybody. Love you all. Peace, everybody.
Have a good one. Bye, guys.